Hey everyone, JamieStarr, New World News Network. So, I came across this article when friends of mine posted this article about some anti-transgender bus going around New York trying to educate people and whatever. And I was telling my friends basically, because they were saying, oh, well, the science, if you disagree, that's hateful. And I said, the science is still out on this. And a lot of it really, it's come back and it's just not what they want to hear. But, kind of handling them with kid gloves, being like, the science is still out. You should at least realize that you are 1% of the population trying to convince 99% of the population that we've had it wrong about everything for 99% of all of human history, and that now there are these things called social constructs, where if we all agree on it, anything can be true, where, if we agree that gender and identity is a social construct and it's all based on us agreeing, we can all agree you're a genderless alien, and that's what you can be. It's very insane, and it's like a, contagious mental disorder. But anyway, I found this: American College of Pediatrics. Gender ideology harms children. 1. Human sexuality is an objective biological binary trait. XY and XX are genetic markers for male and female, respectively, not genetic markers of a disorder. No one is born with a gender. Everyone is born with a biological sex. Gender, an awareness and a sense of oneself as male or female, is a sociological and psychological concept, not an objective biological one. A person's belief that he or she is something they are not, at best, a sign of confused thinking. Puberty is not a disease, and puberty-blocking hormones can be dangerous. According to the DSM-V, as many as 98% of gender-confused boys and 88% of gender-confused girls eventually accept their biological sex after naturally passing through puberty. Prepubertal children who use puberty blockers to impersonate the opposite sex will require cross-sex hormones in late adolescence. This combination leads to permanent sterility. These children will never be able to conceive any genetically related children, even via artificial reproductive technology. In addition, cross-sex hormones are associated with dangerous health risks, including but not limited to cardiac disease, high blood pressure, blood clots, stroke, diabetes, and cancer. So, in the conspiracy world, let's just say that there is some sort of Illuminati cult that is anti-family and, wants to thin the world population and everything like that. Isn't all of this very convenient social movements that it ends up as sterile, and, they try to make it all trendy, and, oh, well, it's loving to not be able to reproduce and to have your bloodline die off. Oh, it's so loving, so trendy. So I just thought that's interesting as I'm reading this stuff, how easily this would fit into that agenda. Rates of suicide are nearly 20 times greater among adults who use cross-sex hormones and undergo sex reassignment surgery, even in Sweden, which is among the most LGBTQ-affirming countries. And this is, the whole idea that, well, if you don't accept them, they'll kill themselves. And you hear that argument all of the time, and it is so flawed, because it's like, okay, that's a wild guilt trip. People make their own choices. This person was obviously having problems before I came along. Like, no. And we all know that in men, if you have a drop in testosterone, it can lead to depression. So what do you think is going to happen if you force that? Conditioning children into believing a lifetime of chemical and surgical impersonation of the opposite sex is normal and healthful is child abuse. Endorsing gender discordance as normal via public education and legal policies will confuse children and parents, leading more children to present to gender clinics where they will be given puberty-blocking drugs. This, in turn, virtually ensures that they will choose a lifetime of carcinogenic and otherwise toxic cross-sex hormones and likely consider unnecessary surgical mutilation of their healthy body parts as young adults. So, there's also some clarifications here and everything else. But, as you can see, this is a whole bunch of medical people, American Colleges of Pediatrics, Best for Children. So I just figured I would share this, for anyone who's ever looking for arguments to back up their point that, this is an issue that, still has a lot that needs to be sorted out, and if we should be doing it, if we shouldn't. It's not as simple as if you don't support it, you're a hateful, transphobic bigot. So, just wanted to share.